Steph with Steph's on a Budget. Welcome or welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be doing a budget with me for our paycheck of March 7th. Yes. I lost track of the day there. March 7th. So we're going to budget both mine and my husband's full-time income together. We're looking at my March monthly spread. You guys look at my March calendar. So cute. So then we've got Toy Story theme here too. Love it. So we are going to be looking to pay the things highlighted in purple. Now there are some things on here that are paid off that we, like I've told you guys before, I have several credit cards that don't carry a balance. They don't have a balance, but they're still open accounts. So I do leave those on my monthly spread so that I don't lose track in case, we were to use them for something, or there are some things that are like an annual subscription or something like that that will tie to that account to kind of keep it active, I guess. And so I leave them in there so that I'm at least mindful to go in and check them at least every month to make sure everything looks as it should. Also, this day and age, right? And I share a lot of my, my budget here on online with strangers. So, it's just anytime you have active credit, it's always good to, check your accounts, check your credit report, making sure everything looks as it should. But anywho, we're going to be budgeting March 7th. So let's go ahead and do that together. I think what I'm going to do is pull out my March paycheck budget. So if you're new to my channel, I usually set up a budget binder every October because mine tends to go through October. And that's just because when I first started this way of budgeting, I used the Budget Mom workbook, and her workbook always releases every October. So it came in October and I was like, oh, I have to use it now. I can't wait till January. So I've just been on kind of that cycle of needing a new budget every October. But now that I'm doing my own, using a big Happy Planner and the Happy Planner discs, I could probably get through December. But I do still use the Budget Mom workbook. I just use the printable version. So that's what I have here for my budget. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Guys, I didn't even bother. So I used to print out the entire year and set it up. And this year I'm just printing a month at a time. I just was not throwing away, but I had kind of a lot of extra blank papers that didn't get used kind of sitting around, if you will. So I'm just printing what I need at the moment. And for March, I didn't even print out, what you call it, the second page, where you can write in your cash denominations. So I was like, I'm not even gonna do that this time, mostly because I had money that needed to get deposited back in the bank. And so I ended up just kind of making my own bank and making that work. But I am talking your guys' ear off. Let's see about actually jumping into this budget. Yeah, I'm going to grab some additional paper because you guys know me. I'm heavy-handed. I can't write on one sheet, especially on hard surface like this. It'll drive me bonkers. All right, I'm going to just use this piece of cardstock that I printed some minis off of. Okay, and I'm using my Friction erasable pens. I got these as a birthday gift from my budget bestie Tara, and I love these pens. They're great. Okay, so $3,725. We are going to budget, like I said, both mine and my husband's full-time income. We both work in healthcare, and we're both paid bi-weekly on the same Friday. So we budget every 2 weeks. And I forgot to check, I've checked it, I've seen it, but I have forgot to write down our income amount. So give me a second to grab those numbers and then we can actually get to budgeting. All right, friends, let's get going. So our pay one is going to be for $1,758.70. And our pay to is going to be for $2,892.36. So let me kind of do some shifting. Let's add those two up together. We're looking at $4,651.06. Is that right? Let me double check it. Okay, it sure is. All right. So $4,651 is what we're going to budget. I don't mess with the cents. I put it here just to note the exact amount on the income, which I guess I should have put it in the actual column, but that's okay. But I don't bring the change down into the budget. So you'll see for my fixed expenses, I just typically round those up. So let's go ahead and jump on in. We always have to start with our half mortgage payment. And so we're looking at $1,143. So we're setting aside the first half of April's mortgage. Okay. We have our natural gas bill this payday, sorry guys. And we are budgeting $177, so still up there a bit, but coming down. And our January, February gas bill was a lot lower than last year's, so that's good. Although it just wasn't nearly as cold this year. Even though it's freezing today and calling for snow tomorrow. So I say that's kind of funny. All right, we have our Starlink, that's gonna be $50. Back in the beginning of 2024, we paid off a personal loan. And so we have that debt snowball for $150. And if you're new here, you might be wondering, why don't you put that in the extra debt, Stephanie? You certainly could. The reason I don't is because I work the sheet fixed, variable, sinking funds, and then the debt. And it's very easy for this money to get sucked up in other areas. And personally, it's just a mind game for me. If I list it here, then in my mind, it's a bill, has to get paid. There's no like wiggle room, you know? So I'm less likely to kind of talk myself out of utilizing that money elsewhere. So that's why I put it here. Okay, then we have our electric bill on the 10th, and that is $181. Okay, it's like utilities galore this payday. So we have our water bill on the 14th, and that's $112. Okay, we're gonna pay our city too. So this is the debt we're working on. We're just working on paying back the savings. So I explained that in my debt update if you caught that the other day. And that's going to be $100. Okay, we have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I'm gonna annotate this A right here, and this just lets me know that this bill comes out automatically and that I don't have to go in and pay it. Actually, I'm not gonna put that for the Starlink. It does automatically go to one of our credit cards, but then I have to, pay it. So I wanna make sure that I remember to pay the credit card for it. Okay, so Kindle Unlimited also on the 14th, that's $13. Okay. Oh, we have car insurance. You guys know this one's my favorite bill of all time. Not $615, you guys. Okay. If you're new to my channel and going, holy moly, yeah, you're not kidding. But we do insure 6 drivers, 2 of which I think my son has officially graduated out of the kind of underage teen driver rate. But we still have like 2 teen drivers. So that's where that lovely comes from. And then we also have, is it 4? We have 4 vehicles insured. So, you know, it just is what it is. Okay, $315, we have our Apple Music. That's $19. Okay, we have Xbox subscription. That is on the 16th, and that's $22. This is like also all of our subscriptions. We have Netflix on the 19th for $25. Okay, we have a Discover Debt Snowball on the 20th, and that's $200. So that's exciting. We have $300 just in Debt Snowball built in here. That's going to go to our current debt. And we're going to make a payment to our last, once we get this city payback paid, this is going to be our last credit card. So I'm excited about that. And that's $80. Oh, actually, I need to, oh boy. Okay. And then I'm going to have also my car payment. And this due date technically falls on our next payday, but I screwed up my last budget, you guys. I forgot to incorporate 2 bills. I had left them off my monthly spread somehow, and I have never done this, and I haven't had an error this significant in a long time, but I missed a couple of bills, one being our cell phone bill, which is pretty hefty at $330. And so it has this snowball effect of me trying to correct that. So because I missed that and had to try to like work that in, my other 2, the last paycheck and this one, we're still kind of feeling the pain of that. I can't explain it, but because I've had to like shuffle things around. Usually like something like this, I will pay this early to balance the paychecks better, right? So I try to kind of half the bills and then half the bills with the second. So I'm not like heavy bill with one and like tiny bills the next time. So I try to make them as even as possible. It just keeps, for me, things more consistent. I typically know, you know, I'm not going to be short on sinking funds one pay period and really heavy on the next and vice versa. And so it just totally screwed me up, and I'm still kind of feeling the pain of that. So normally this would get paid early, but it's kind of pushing me like a little more further. Like the amount is way higher on my fixed expenses than it normally is. And so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and budget for it, $459, and that's all of our fixed expenses. But I need to come back up here. I'm going to erase this total. I guess I didn't need to, but that's okay. So I am going to kind of cheat a little bit, but I want this to be on here, and I guess I could leave it off and then just work it into the, maybe I should do that. I'm just worried that I'll forget it. So I am getting a work bonus next Friday. And so I was just going to go ahead and budget that money into here. And obviously I wouldn't pay it until the 14th when that money comes in. And I know for sure it's going to cover this and then some. So normally I would never, you know, rely on a bonus or anything outside of our, you know, standard income. But that screw up is just like haunting me. The good news is that after this payday going forward, it's all back to normal, which is really good. So I just, I thought in the moment, like, no big deal. I was kind of beating myself up. And then I thought, Stephanie, don't beat yourself up, just move on. But it's got this like rolling effect, and I just can't like seem to get away from it. Shoot, now I'm kind of talking myself out of this. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's add this all up and see where we're at for one. Okay, you guys, it's going to be a longer budget with me, a little extra chatty, but you're kind of just, you know, welcome to my brain, I guess. My brain on budget. Okay, 25, 280. So that's where I'm at with out the car payment. And then if I add the car payment, I'm pretty heavy there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just leave it as it was. Oh, I feel like I had this worked out earlier and now I just can't remember like what I thought in my head. See, thank goodness for the erasable pen today. Okay, so let's just go back to the 4,651 that we had. Okay, and minus the 459 is $2,887.00 minus the 4,651 leaves us with $1,764. Okay, we're gonna bring the 1,764 down to our variable expenses now. Okay, so we have all the same envelopes we always do. We've got groceries, Costco, kind of some house and beauty things, miscellaneous. We're gonna do spending, takeout, gas, water, and pets. Okay, so for groceries, we're gonna budget our usual 300. We're gonna budget our 200 for Costco, 60 in house and beauty, 40 here for miscellaneous. Gonna budget our 360 for spending, 100 for takeout, 150 for gas. We're gonna budget $42 for water. And if you're new to my channel, you saw my water bill up here. This is for drinking water, not our home water bill. And then we're gonna budget $50 for pets. This should add up to $1,302. Let's just double check it. Okay, and it does. So $1,302 here. And we're gonna take that from the $1,764. And that's gonna leave us with $462. Okay, so if we then come up to the sinking fund section, and we are going to budget for our binders and savings. So we've got month ahead savings, emergency fund savings, Christmas, our savings challenges. This is typically what funds the actual sinking funds. And then we have our debt binder. Okay, so we have 462, and I can already tell based on that number I'm going to be short. So I budget 33 for our month ahead every paycheck and 64 for our emergency fund every paycheck. I have to budget $100 every paycheck for Christmas if I want to meet my Christmas spending goal. And I like to put $200 into our savings challenges, which is basically like putting $200 to sinking funds. Let's see what that gets us. So let's do 462 minus 33, whoops, minus 64, minus 100, minus 200. That's gonna leave $65 to put towards our debt binder. And I like to have at least 200 here. So what I have a couple options of doing is I do have a little bit of money that we have saved for quote unquote rollover because my our pay one here is fluctuating a little more than it did last year due to some like call hours. So we've been kind of saving to offset when that's short, because usually it's around 2,000. And you can see we're under that, and that's why we have. So I can plan to, you know, use this 65 and just do that, or I could add some rollover. So I think just for the sake of keeping the budget clean here, I'm gonna just put it at 65, but I will likely either pull from side hustle income to get that to 200 or from that rollover. We'll see. I have some rollover in my envelopes this pay period too. So let's go ahead and stuff the cash envelopes, and we'll see if we can offset some of that as well. All right, but that is the budget plan. So I'm glad to get this one done because it means I'm going to be out of the chaos of my screw up here following this video. Let me go ahead and set up for our cash stuffing, and I'll be right back. All right, friends, let's see what we're working with. So we have, I'm going to put that 50 aside, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86. Let me put this down. 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 80. So 780, 790, 800. And then we have 850, 60, 70, 80, 90, 900, 10, 20, 30, 40, 940, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So we have 952. Those ones were just sticking together. Oh, my grocery envelope is like completely off of the rings. How weird. Okay, let's see what we've got in here that we can use as rollover towards the debt, or what we don't have, I guess, too. All right, we're going to start with groceries. It's going to get the 300, you guys. So we got 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. And we've got 20, 40, 60, 80. So 280. And then I'm going to do 290. And then I'm going to use some of these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 300 there. Good gracious. Sorry, you guys. This money is like pretty raggedy. And if money is super new and crispy or really raggedy, it's so hard to count, I feel like. All right, groceries is done. Costco is going to get 200. I have 200 in here. So let's do 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. And we are ready for this month's Costco shop. So perfect. All right. Costco money always rolls over because I typically will save 200 a pay period. And then once I get to 4, that's when I usually will go do my shop. Now, House and Beauty has its 60 from last time. So I'm going to pull that out and we're going to add 60 more. 20, 40, 60. I know, kind of silly, right? Okay. Okay, miscellaneous has $20 left. We're going to add 40, 20, 40. Alrighty. Spending. Now I've already pulled from this, so I'm actually going to come back to that one so I don't confuse myself. We're going to stuff water next, 20, 40, 1 and 2. So 42 for water. Okay. And then we're going to put 50 into pets, and pets always rolls over because I build that up. And so pets now has 50, 150, 55, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 166. Okay, perfect. I do need to go get Rocky some dog food, and Duncan has a groom here coming up. Okay, so then back to spending. We have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 92, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 260. which is what we should have because I already gave the hubby his 100. So, okay, that worked out. All right, that is our wallet stuffed for the next 2 weeks. So we're set there, and we had 20, 40, 60, 80 in rollover, but I do need $65 to put towards my Monday minis. I typically use rollover for the first week of Monday minis during a payday, and then for the second week, I will usually use my Etsy payout or YouTube or something like that, whatever the side hustle income happens to be for that period. So I will need 65, which gives us another 15 to put towards the debt. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see what I show up with at the debt binder if I decide to use the rollover or not, especially since we have the $300 debt snowball kind of built in. We might just work with that. I don't know, you guys. This is, you know, real life. Sometimes the numbers work out, and sometimes we make adjustments when we have either a little less or a little more to go off of. But all right, friends, thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to stick around, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.